Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. It was a tense scene at the recent Hodgeville Council meeting, complete with RCMP presence, at the request of Mayor and Council. A scenario which stems from a previous council meeting in December, where Councilors Kerr and Gaul Hapanowicz were notified they'd be banned from the upcoming January 16th meeting and from the village office. Tobacco use is the leading cause of numerous cancers, and Health Canada is proposing several ideas to reduce the urge to smoke. As the temperatures continue to cool off throughout the winter season, your furnace will be working hard to keep your home warm inside. And therefore you're reminded of the importance of regular furnace maintenance by a professional, and the simple task of cleaning your furnace filter, which can not only save you money on your energy bill, but keep the indoor air fresh. Hodgeville Village Council stands divided, and it all surrounds a code of ethics bylaw. It was a tense scene at the recent Hodgeville Council meeting, complete with RCMP presence, at the request of Mayor and Council. A scenario which stems from a previous council meeting in December, where Councilors Kerr and Gaul Hapanowicz were notified they'd be banned from the upcoming January 16th meeting and from the village office. And as the local mayor refused to speak to the media about the situation, Raegen, the chief administrative officer for the village, offered the following explanation.
I can't really comment too much on that, but there were some harassment issues, and so council is determined that this is going to be a workplace for their employees, which is safe and free from harassment. Well, it actually all began probably in the November meeting. We had a woman who came to a meeting. Council had passed a bylaw about exotic pets, and she lost control at that meeting and was consequently arrested and charged. I had to call 911. And so some of the councillors did not like that.
And despite the ban in place from attending the January 15th meeting, both Kerr and Gaul Hapanowicz showed up at the Hodgeville Community Centre, taking their respective seats at the council table, while trying to participate in the evening's discussion with little acknowledgement of their presence by their fellow council members.
There was 2 councillors that were suspended for this meeting. They've decided to show, however, they will not be participating in this meeting.
Point of order. Point of order. The point of order is that we actually have a right to be here.
Be it resolved that council approves the agenda dated January 16, 2018.
On something
I'll
that's
make that
actually
motion.
illegal.
Someone like to second
And
that?
the problem is that it's actually illegal and it's null and void. So if you actually make a vote.
That motion was carried.
According to both Kerr and Hapanowicz, proper protocol wasn't taken by council to enforce the ban in the first place, all stemming from the village's own code of ethics bylaw. And now they're seeking clarification on the matter.
This code of ethics bylaw was passed 3 times in this village, okay? Each time with small modifications to it. But in the course of 1 year, it's actually been going through the bylaw process, approval process 3 times. So everybody here tonight was very, very much aware. The CAO, the mayor, the councillors, and of course ourselves, very much aware of the procedural requirements of the code of ethics bylaw allegations process.
At the heart of the matter is the Schedule A form, which both Kerr and Hapanowicz say council is required to fill out along with other documentation to report an alleged breach of the code of ethics. However, through further discussions between our newsroom and the village's CAO, Ms. Funk indicated because of the word may and not shall in the documentation, it's not mandatory for municipalities to fill out the Schedule A form. A bylaw which Saskatchewan Municipal Affairs confirmed to our newsroom was recently required of all municipalities. However, how the Code of Ethics bylaw is enforced by individual municipalities appears to be in a gray area, right down to the actual wording of the documentation.
At this point in time, I suspect we're going to regroup, and we will be seeking legal counsel. There's quite a few legal scenarios actually that are in position now, that are actually operational, that have gone live. But really it's about getting some scrutiny, some third-party scrutiny on what's actually happening.
And pending any further developments in the coming weeks, Paul Kerr and Gaul Hapanowicz plan to resume their councillor duties at the next scheduled meeting in February, while representing the best interests of residents who elected them to Village Council. The Village of Hodgeville is located approximately 1 hour southeast of Swift Current. For over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News. Cancer rates are on the rise across the country, and the leading cause is tobacco use. Tobacco use is the leading cause of numerous cancers, and Health Canada is proposing several ideas to reduce the urge to smoke. This includes a proposed ban in apartments and on post-secondary campuses, along with raising the legal age for buying tobacco to age 21, a move which the Canadian Cancer Society is applauding on a number of fronts.
And we know that the overwhelming majority of youth begin as teenagers or preteens, but there are some, especially who, as young adults are vulnerable. So in terms of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, they may leave high school, they may get a job, they may have more money, and so they may be at risk of going from an experimenter to a regular smoker. And so the evidence is that increasing minimum age to 21 for tobacco would reduce youth smoking. We support it. And there's a demand for people to have smoke-free living. And if we can have more buildings on a voluntary basis be encouraged to move in that direction, that's very positive. We've already seen residential-type premises, in many cases, go smoke-free, such as hospitals and hotels and prisons and university residences and dormitories. There's an opportunity also in terms of social housing to move forward.
And as Health Canada sets a target to reduce the national smoking numbers to less than 5% of the population by the year 2035, provinces such as Saskatchewan still have a long way to go.
There's many things that Saskatchewan has not done that other provinces have done, including bringing forward legislation to ban flavored tobacco, to have legislation with respect to e-cigarettes, to prohibit smoking of water pipes, hookah, anywhere where smoking is banned, even to have a minimum age of 19 for the sales. Saskatchewan is the only province where the tobacco age is lower than the alcohol age. The alcohol age is 19, the tobacco age is 18.
The tobacco epidemic is preventable, with 37,000 Canadians dying each year from tobacco use. Therefore, through a combined effort of national and provincial legislation and awareness campaigns, a reduction in tobacco use for all ages is possible. With several weeks of winter still ahead of us, you're reminded to change your furnace filters on a regular basis. As the temperatures continue to cool off throughout the winter season, your furnace will be working hard to keep your home warm inside. And therefore you're reminded of the importance of regular furnace maintenance by a professional and the simple task of cleaning your furnace filter, which can not only save you money on your energy bill, but keep the indoor air fresh.
And know what kind of furnace filter you need, and get yourself a good supply of them for the whole winter. And when the really, really cold weather comes, you're probably needing to need to replace that furnace filter monthly. So get a half a dozen of them, and then you're set.
Carbon monoxide is also something you should be concerned about, as it's a colorless, odorless, and deadly gas, which if undetected, can lead to several fatal cases of poisoning each year. Ideally, carbon monoxide detectors should be installed away from doorways, as to not detect gasoline embers from any attached garage or the outdoors. And the unit should be tested on a regular basis and replaced every few years according to the manufacturer's guidelines. over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.